Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 9 of season 3 of Supergirl, Reign. And this is it. We see Reign unleashed on National City and on Supergirl, and man, is she no joke. Kara puts up a pretty good fight there, but in the end she takes a serious knock to the head, and then Reign just absolutely goes to town on her. It's brutal. Uh, Although I did like that moment where they sort of mix them fighting with rocking around the Christmas tree. It's just such a wonderful, you know, you're seeing the hero getting beat all to hell while this super cheery Christmas music is playing. I have to say I always love things like that. When you mix something really horrific with like the super cheery music, I know it's not very subtle and can easily translate into to cross the line into laying it on too thick, but me personally, I get an enormous kick out of stuff like that. Um, and I really like how they did sort of take the time to sort of show that Kara is just like amazed that somebody could knock her so badly that she would bleed. Like she's like, "What? I'm bleeding, and there's no kryptonite involved." It actually kind of reminds me of an event from the Superman American Alien series where Clark takes like a serious knock from, I can't remember what happened, but he takes a serious knock and he falls into the ocean and he almost drowns, and then he crawls up onto a boat and he goes like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know it was possible for me to drown." Just sort of showing you that the Kryptonians are sometimes very unaware of their weaknesses, their limits on Earth, simply because they're used to being so far above everyone else. Although I would think it is worth mentioning that the author has stated in the universe, and it's a separate universe from this mainstream comic universe. The Superman of the American Alien universe is significantly weaker than the standard Superman, or at least notably weaker, I suppose, is perhaps a better way to put it. Nonetheless, Superman American Alien is a pretty darn good read. Um, yeah, the episode where Clark is drunk and at a party is hilarious. I mean, absolutely and utterly hilarious to see drunk off his ass Clark Kent. It's great. Anyway, nothing really particular to say about the Jimmy Lena thing. I mean, yeah, okay, cool. Um, Still loving Adrian Pasdor as Morgan Edge. He's a natural in roles like this, and it is kind of funny that Edge does, try to have Lena killed this episode, but it also seems like he's like genuinely seems to enjoy Christmas, and he even tries to give Jimmy and Emma a little Christmas present from like laying around his office, and he doesn't seem to be like he's doing it to being a dick. He's like genuinely trying to be generous in that moment, even though he's a terrible person. And I was kind of like, when Jimmy's like, "Bah humbug," I'm like, damn, dude. I mean, I know he's a bad guy and a dick, but it's Christmas. I mean, it looks like he's offering you like a coffee cup and some pens as a Christmas present. At least be polite. Um, our drink tonight is chamomile tea with a splash of lemon juice to give it a little zing. Good stuff. Let's see, what else, what else, what else? Nothing really to say about Ruby this episode. Of course, the real crux of this is where we start to really kind of get to know Imra better as a character. And we find out that, Mon-El's stories of Supergirl are what served as the spark that helped unite and form the Legion. Now, people who are better versed in comics history than I am have pointed out that before the Crisis on Infinite Earth miniseries in the 80s, the idea with the Legion was they were inspired by both Superman, Superboy, and Supergirl. After Crisis, it was more just straight up the Legion were inspired by Superman and as primarily but they also, had some knowledge about the other heroes of the modern age. But Superman was their primary inspiration. Here it's kind of shifted to, okay, Supergirl seems to have been this initial spark for the formation of Legion. We have to remember, back in season 1, we did see a Legion ring in the Fortress of Solitude. So Clark also has some sort of a connection to the Legion. And, I don't have any problem with the idea that Supergirl and her stories and the legends of her are what helped initially start the Legion. I don't have any problem with that. I do like that they are they haven't ignored the fact that Superman and Superboy also, however, have a pretty extraordinary and important connection to the Legion, and I do hope that gets explored at some point. But nonetheless, we always have to remember that at the end of the day, this show is called Supergirl. Kara is the main protagonist, so it does kind of make sense that they're going to focus on her and her accomplishments, and that in playing with the mythology, they might give some things that in the comics were events that were related to Superman to Kara. And, hey, that's okay. I mean, there are infinite Earths out there, so sure, why not? And it's not as if this show's lasted 3 seasons, so it's not as if Supergirl, even before the show, had not proven herself to be a really awesome character. And let's see, what else? No, I can't really. Oh yeah, I loved the stuff at the Christmas party when, like, John's dad discovering Coco, Win and John being nerds about Star Wars. That was great. That was hilarious. And yeah, we're gonna leave it at that, guys. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi, and please also join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. Until next time, take care and have a good one.